You know, the insufferably elitist and blind double standards of sanctimonious pop media jaw swingers who overlook their praise of so-called protest marches that left city blocks smoking piles of rubble, and who now assiduously avoid Donald Trump's call for peaceful free speech in D.C. last week, who, like CNN's Oliver Darcy, erroneously and wickedly portray conservatives and libertarians as racists and want cable providers to purge communicators such as OANN.
It's a national emergency. You have corporations and people that are profiting off of lies and conspiracy theories, whether that's big tech, whether that's Fox News, whether that's the TV providers that beam OAN and Newsmax into homes, or Rush Limbaugh. There are a lot of people profiting off of lies and conspiracy theories, and I don't really see how things get better, how we move on as a country until this informational environment is cleaned up.
They seem very comfortable demonizing innocent folks and shutting down speech that doesn't conform to their own collectivist ideology. But some national media figures are pushing back, and one is Fox News' Greg Gutfeld, who in about 4 minutes put people like Darcy, the CNN gang, and the politicians they love in their place. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV. You know, in a powerful monologue deserving recognition, Fox News host Greg Gutfeld Thursday not only called out the hypocrisy of left media when it comes to rioting, he also reiterated the fundamental ethics that the left overlooked during months of summer rioting.
Americans do not need lectures from hypocrites in hair and makeup who pick and choose their favorite protesters.
And Gutfeld showed that he's not like the leftists, who so often embrace situational ethics. He blasted them for their stance that the summer 2020 burning of private shops and the assaults on peaceful people on the streets, the breakups of civil dinners at outdoor cafes, the attacks on drivers, the demand for tax cash. He hit the left media for claiming that those were peaceful or mostly peaceful protests.
Vandalism and looting, whether it's in D.C. or Portland, Soho, Kenosha, Minneapolis, Seattle, it's all bad, no matter who's doing it. So we must remain consistent. That's what makes us different from the rest. We don't play favorites with mobs. The other side does, but we don't.
Indeed, who can forget CNN's Chris Fredo Cuomo passing off rampant, explosive, multi-city violence in June 2020 when Cuomo flippantly said, "Show me where it says protesters are supposed to be polite and peaceful."
Please, show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful, because I can show you that outraged citizens are the ones who have made America what she is and led to any major milestones.
Of course, when Fredo said that, sensible people likely recalled that a protest that isn't peaceful isn't a protest. It's a riot or a rebellion. But CNN pays Fredo to use, or some might say misuse, the English language. So why should anyone expect him or CNN to care about the proper use of words? Gutfeld's words stand out like a mountain over Cuomo's mindless, bestial, nonsensical, ahistorical swamp. Offered a heartfelt Gutfeld after the Capitol riot.
I do believe the Capitol is a sacred place. I also believe that the guy who invested his life savings in a small business, to him, that was a sacred place too. So it's consistency.
Gutfeld noted that high-profile Republicans or libertarians will not be bailing out the Capitol Hill rioters in the same manner that people like Kamala Harris and numerous Biden campaign staffers reportedly bailed out rioters who emerged from Black Lives Matter protests in places like Minneapolis, Seattle, and Portland.
By pointing out Republicans or non-liberals like me who are equally outraged by this behavior, what you're doing is you're pointing out also the inconsistency, right? The lack of Democrats who weren't doing this when our cities were in flame. That pisses me off.
And Gutfeld reminded viewers that he and many others have been opposing violent riots all along.
So I'm glad that the Democrats are finally outraged by this disgusting behavior. Join the club. I've been there for a year. I do not play favorites with mobs.
Well said, Mr. Gutfeld. We'll see if this falls on deaf ears. Thank you all for having your ears open and your eyes open and your hearts open and your souls open to the principles of freedom and fair play. We'll see you on YouTube. As long as we're still there, please like and subscribe. We'll see you on Twitter, Facebook, Parler. And if you have the opportunity, please visit MRCTV.org. If anything happens in social media, you'll be able to find us there all the time. And if you want some great items, go to MRC-Store. MRC-Store is a great place where you can get terrific fashion items and other things to take with you during the day. And of course, help support the Media Research Center. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.